Julia. I linked one of our maids as Jax, and I left the ball. Yes, Alpha? I want you and 2 other maids to come to mine and Jax's suite immediately. Yes, sir, she complied. We will be right there. I've called for Julia. I told Jax, who was looking towards the balcony where our mate had gone with our mother. She'll be fine, Jax. I told him as I grabbed his shoulders and shook him. Mother will calm things down and bring her back. She just needs some time. Jax growled and shoved me away. We should go get her ourselves, he told me nervously. What if she tries to reject us? You didn't hear how nervous she was when she found out we were royalty, and we shouldn't risk her leaving us. Relax, I said confidently as we headed up the staircase and past several Lycans heading towards the ballroom. We're not that pathetic alpha pup. Neither of us would accept her rejection, even if she does try to reject us. Can you for once take something seriously? Jax snapped at me. We're talking about our mate, not some random bitch. We can't risk losing her by sitting on our arses. We need to speak with her ourselves and make her understand how much we want her. How dare he think I'm not taking this situation seriously? I growled and turned to my brother and shoved him, but he growled and shoved me back, and a servant boy quickly rushed away. I am taking this seriously, I snarled as my eyes darkened. Nyx was furious too, but she's overwhelmed and needs space. It's pretty damn obvious by her demeanor and everything she mentioned tonight that she's been abused and neglected by that family and alphas especially, so being mated to 2 alphas and not just alphas, but princes must be hard for her to come to terms with. Is going to her now won't help. We'll just scare her more, just trust Mother. She'll bring Maddie back, and in the meantime, we will get things ready for her, okay? Jax exhaled. Fine, he said, and began walking again. What exactly are we getting ready? I smirked and rushed after my brother. All the anger gone from both of us. The room, of course, I answered. I designed it to go from 2 bedrooms to 1. Oh, right. Jax rolled his eyes. Your stupid obsession. You're an alpha, not an interior designer. Our suite in the pack house consisted of 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, our large home office, a massive kitchen and dining and sitting room, a games room that we hardly got to use as we were so busy, along with a huge balcony wrapped around 3 sides. Jax and I shared a huge bathroom that led off each of our bedrooms, but I designed the divider wall between our rooms to be taken down easily to make one massive bedroom. We'd always suspected we'd share a mate, and we decided years ago that we wanted to share a room once we had her. The idea of her sleeping in my bed one night and then Jax's bed the next night didn't sit well with either of us. We didn't want to only have her every second night, so we just share a bed and bedroom like we did when we were younger. I'd already organized a large bed that could fit all of us comfortably. Jax and I weren't exactly small and needed the room, but it would need to be taken out of storage. I am allowed to have a hobby, I shrugged. And at least my hobby is useful, unlike your paintings. Shut up! I laughed and shook my brother's shoulders again. I couldn't believe how light I felt. Get off! Jax shoved me away. I can't believe we finally have her, I said happily as we turned down another corridor filled with paintings and several plants. Why aren't you more excited? Don't you dare tell me that you want her. Of course I want her, he said quickly and punched my arm. She's gorgeous in that body. I can't wait until Mother brings her back so we can mark and mate her. But what if she really doesn't want us? Stop it! I rolled my eyes. She will want us. She's just had a hell of a shock. I mean, she didn't even know she was a Lycan for Goddess's sake. It's been a lot for her. That F** King Alpha of hers is a piece of *T. Jack snarled, and his hands became fists, lying to her, making her a servant, not even allowing her to F** King shift. I growled when I remembered those damn shackles on her wrists. I want Troy dead. Jax linked me, and he must have been thinking the same thing I was. Me too, I agreed. especially if he's going to try and force us to give Maddie up. I don't care what the elders say, my brother said firmly. She is ours. We'll have to talk to Father tomorrow in the morning meeting, I told him. We'll need his backing if the elders side with Troy, and definitely if we plan to attack his pack. And if he won't attack the pack, then we'll wait until we take the throne. For the rest of our walk home, we talked about our game plan for the attack. But when I noticed Julia waiting outside the front doors to our suite with 2 other maids and our usual 2 guards, I forgot all about Troy and his bastard son. Julia, good. I clapped my hands. We have a lot of work to get done and only a small time to do it in you. What's your name? I pointed to a small beta with short brown hair and green eyes who looked a little nervous to be in our presence. Sarah, Your Majesty, she said shyly and bowed. Go speak with Mark in the storage area. I've already linked him, so he should have everything ready. Help them bring up our bed and other furniture and all the linen, and be quick. I want it here within the hour. Yes, Your Majesty. She bowed again and rushed off. You're bringing up the bed, Alpha? Julia said excitedly. Does that mean you've met our Luna? Yes, Jax answered with a smile before turning to the guards. She will be along with our mother soon. Let her in immediately. Yes, Alpha. They responded and pushed open the double doors. Okay, Julia and Dash. I hesitated and looked at the blonde boy standing with her. Nathan, Your Majesty. He told me. Nathan, I acknowledged. Follow me. The 4 of us headed through the suite towards the bedrooms. We entered through my door. Nathan, help me move my old bed and dressers to the side of the room. You can move them to the storage area when Mark brings up the new bed. I ordered and turned to Jax. Help Julia move your bed. Yes, Alpha. He snapped and punched my arm again. But I waved him off and moved over to my bed while Jax headed back to his bedroom. Once the bed was out of the way, I moved over to the wall and unhooked the latches on my side. Nathan, go to my closest and start moving all of my clothes to Jax's walk-in. Yes, Your Majesty. Jax, I linked him. Unhook the latches on your side of the wall. Already done. Oh, great. I pulled the lever, and the wall began to fold up, opening up the space. Julia, roll up that rug. I pointed to the rug that had been under Jax's bed. It was brown and hideous, and I wasn't having our mate subjected to my brother's terrible taste. And throw it out, or just put it in the storage area. Jax commented, throw it. I linked her as she began to roll it up. Julia laughed and nodded while Jax just stood there watching. What are you doing? I snapped. Maddie could be here any second. Go move your clothes to one side of the walk-in so mine will fit. That way, Maddie can have my whole walk-in to herself. Jax shook his head patiently. You are such a pain in the arse, he said, though his tone was affectionate. Yeah. I waved and turned around to see 2 large chests of drawers with a small gap in between where the wall had been. I moved them further apart to make room for Maddie's one when it arrived, then proceeded to roll up my own rug that had been under my bed and left it waiting by the wall to be taken away. After I gave the room a quick sweep, I began to move the paintings off the walls that had been hung up above each of our old beds and sat them by the rug. I'd organized new paintings to be put up that were a little more appropriate. The old ones had been a little more erotic. By the time I'd moved around several of the plants and ordered Julia to bring in others, Mark and Sarah and several other betas had arrived with all the furniture, and we got to work putting everything in place while Julia stocked the bathroom with products for our mate. Which bedspread would you like, Your Majesty? Sarah asked as she was making up the bed. I like this one. Jax pointed to a white cotton one, but I shook my head. No, I argued gently from the other side of the room where I'd been changing out the chairs by my fireplace in the corner of the room. Maddie likes blue. Use the dark blue one. How do you know she likes blue? Jax asked as he walked over to me and helped me move one of the stone statues near the fireplace. She was wearing a blue dress this evening. I pointed out. Seriously, you never notice anything. I was more focused on the girl in the dress, not the dress itself. He countered and rolled his eyes. And besides, just because she was wearing blue, it doesn't mean that's her favorite color. You're hopeless. I sighed patiently. She was attending a royal ball. You don't just wear any old thing. She would have picked her favorite. Whatever, Jack shrugged. We'll just ask her and find out for sure. I bet you 5 morning meetings that I'm right. Jax frowned at me. Do you mean the next 5 meetings, and then we go back to alternating, or do you mean the loser does the next 10, our own, and then the other person's? The next 5, and then we go back to alternating. Jack smirked and held out his hand. You're on. I shook my brother's hand, and then went back to organizing everything. Jax and I hated our morning meetings with our father. Neither of us was in my old closet, wiping everything down. The room had completely transformed from 2 single bachelor pads to one huge welcoming room. Our new huge wooden bed with an elegant carving of the woods on the headboard was pushed up against the wall in the center of the room, surrounded by a white canopy that could be let down to wrap around the bed for privacy. Next to the bed, we put our bedside tables, and beside them were the doors to the bathroom. Opposite the bed were our 3 chests of drawers, though Maddie was empty and had nothing on top. Unlike mine and Jax's, which was lined with various objects and pictures, I made a mental note to get some pictures with our girl to put there. I had made sure the room had been filled with as many blue flowers as I could get my hands on in the small amount of time we had, and all the new paintings had been hung up. On each side of the room on the left and right of the chest of drawers were the bedroom doors, and next to them were fireplaces, each tucked into a corner and surrounded by comfortable chairs sitting on top of rugs that matched the ones now under the bed. I looked around the room, analyzing everything while Jax straightened up some paintings. Do you think she'll like it? I hope so, he smiled and turned to me. It was a bitch moving everything. Hilarious. I rolled my eyes. Do you? Coda! Shit. I froze mid-sentence before turning around to see Blakely walking into the bedroom and looking around in confusion. The second Jackson had linked me about a surprise. I'd forgotten to pick her up for the ball, and then after meeting Madelyn, Blake had completely gone from my mind. Blake was wearing a pretty pink low-cut dress that fell to her feet, and her brown hair had been pulled up into an elegant bun. But even as attractive as she was, she no longer held the slightest interest for me. Where have you been? She shouted, and Nick started to growl. He'd never liked her much to begin with. I have been waiting for you for over an hour, and then Heather said you'd found your mate. Is that true? Jack sighed and glared at me. You better end this shit now. He warned me through the link. Before Madelyn gets here, I won't have your idiot girlfriend jeopardize our relationship with our mate. I'm going to shut up. Look, Blake, I said awkwardly and ran my fingers through my hair. It's true, Jax and I found our mate this evening and what? She interrupted me. You think I'm just going to let you break up with me? It's the way things are, Blake. I snapped. You knew from the very beginning that if either of us found our mate, things between us would be over. Well, I don't accept that, she shouted. You can't just throw me aside after 3 years because you found your mate. What about everything we meant to each other? That doesn't just vanish. Actually, it does. I told her and I felt a wave of guilt for hurting her. I'm sorry, but it's all gone. I look at you now, and I can subjectively say you're attractive, but I don't have the slightest desire to be with you at all. I don't want to hurt you, but you have to understand. Maddie is my entire world now. What we had is over. You will understand one day when you find your mate. These feelings you have for me will mean nothing to you. So I mean nothing to you. She shouted with tears in her eyes. You don't mean that. I know you don't. Blake closed the gap between us and wound her arms around my neck, pulling me closer, but I grabbed her wrists. I love you, Coda. she said sadly, but I unwound her arms and gently pushed her back. And I know you love me. I do not love you, I told her. I never have. I enjoyed being with you, and you were an amazing friend, but it was never loved for me, and if you truly think about it, you'll realize it wasn't that way for you either. You're lying, she screamed and pulled her wrists from my grip. I'm not, I'm sorry, but it's over, I told her. Now, please go before Maddie gets here. I don't want her first night here to be ruined by you. Oh yes, I'd hate for Maddie to be upset, she snarled, saying the word Maddie with disdain and hatred. I wonder what your precious Maddie would say if she knew you screwed me this morning. Jax growled in warning, but I held up my hand to silence my brother. Blake, that's enough. I warned. You are not a child. You know how things are with our kind. When you meet your mate, they are the only one you want. Go home and stay the hell away from my mate until you grow up and come to terms with us being over. It isn't over, she shouted and stomped her foot on the ground. You have lost your mind. You can't seriously be choosing her over me. I come from a line of powerful betas. Heather told me. Maddie Dash, she said her name in disgust again, was just a maid, and she was actually mated to her alpha's son, Scott. But not even he wanted her. Jax growled again. Only this time he stepped forward and Blake cowered. My brother might tolerate your B** shit out of guilt, but I will not, he shouted, using his alpha tone to convey just how furious he was. Scott didn't reject Madelyn. She rejected him, and maid or not. She is ours, and I will never allow anyone to hurt her, you included. Did you actually think Coda would choose you as his mate? As our Luna? I would be cold in my grave before I ever allowed a girl like you to sit on my mother's throne. Now get out. Blake started crying, and I felt guilty again. But her tears didn't change anything. I wanted Maddie. I'm sorry, Blake. I hugged her. I really am, but it is over. You will find your mate. I know you will, and you'll love him more than anything. Get off me, Blake screamed and shoved me away. You will regret this. Blake spun and ran from the room crying. I told you not to make that B***TCH your girlfriend, Jack snapped angrily. If she upsets Madelyn, I swear to you, she's F***king dead. She just needs time. I said reasonably. But she'll come around. She's not as horrible as you think she is. Like hell, she isn't, Jax rolled his eyes. You were just too damn wiped to see what a cow she is. She really can't have been that great in bed to make you so blind. Shut up. I exhaled and rubbed my face. You don't know what you're talking about. Excuse me, alphas. Julia cleared her throat. I'd forgotten she was still here. I apologize. I didn't mean to overhear. Did you want me to go? No, it's fine. I sighed. Please just finish cleaning the walk-in. I just did. She smiled. Did you need anything else? No. Jax shook his head. You can go. We'll introduce you to Madelyn tomorrow. Yes, sir. Julia walked towards the door, but she paused and turned back towards us. May I speak freely, alphas? Sure. Jack shrugged. Julia looked at me nervously. It's just... She hesitated. About Beta Blake, I think you should watch her around the Luna. I don't think she's going to take the breakup very well. And why's that? I asked. She isn't who you think she is. Julia went on nervously. She was always acting kind and sweet in front of you, but behind your back, she was a nightmare. She would always use her position as your girlfriend to do whatever she wanted, to bully whoever she wanted, and she would often tell everyone that you had told her that you'd take her as your chosen if you didn't meet your mate soon. You what? Jax turned to me with anger. She better have been lying. She was. I defended myself. We spoke about making a choice, but I always turned her down. I was waiting for our mate. Well, this is just great, Jax shouted. I want her watched, and I mean it. She steps 1 foot over the line, or tries to hurt Madelyn. I will rip her King throat out. I will take care of it. I promised him before turning back to Julia. Why didn't you ever tell me that she was lying and behaving this way? She was your girlfriend and a beta. Julia told me. I didn't think you'd believe me over her. I would have. Jax pointed out before glaring at me. You better not be lying to me about taking her as a chosen. If this gets back to Madelyn and hurts her, I swear. I am not lying. I shouted. Alphas. Our guards linked us and interrupted me. The queen and the young lady are coming down the hall. Is the Luna wearing a blue dress? Yes, that's her. Jax answered excitedly. Let them in. Maddie coming. I told Julia. You may as well stay and meet her now. Yes, sir. She said and stepped away from us.